G'day fellas, and welcome to a casted game. Spawning in on the north side of the map, playing as the Ottomans in the colour yellow. It's Beastie Cutie. And on the south side of the map, playing in the colour blue, as the Mongols, it's Marine Lord through versus Magic to get Beastie. What an absolutely great name. We are here on Lipany. Now, I don't know exactly what this game is. I don't know where it comes from. All I saw was Beastie was online. He was playing a game. So I said, let's jump in. Let's spectate it. Let's see what he's up to, because that's a pretty funny name of the person that he's up against. And it's an interesting theory. It's an interesting theory. So basically, the theory goes as follows. Okay, if Marine Lord won all of his games, he would have met Beastie Cutie in the grand final. And then that would have been a longer series. It would have been a best of 7. And because it's a best of 7... Marine Lord doesn't like his chances in those longer series. Not doesn't like his chances, but doesn't favor his position in that best of 7 versus in like a best of 5 series. Now we're obviously talking about the Red Bull Walla Lol, the $500,000 tournament that happened just a month gone by. Actually, I think it was in October, wasn't it? In Germany, Heidelberg. So that's essentially what we're talking about. So it's an interesting theory, but I think it's pretty ballsy of Marine Lord to do that, and I think it's highly unlikely that he actually threw versus Magic. I think he just kind of underestimated Magic, didn't he? I remember that one game that Magic played where he went like 5 TC Abbasid. I'm like, damn, dude, like that is impressive, dude. 5 TC Abbasid. It kind of reminded me a lot of Age of Empires 2 when there was 5 TCs coming out for the Abbasid player. But nonetheless, we move forward. Military School coming down. Now, this is a matchup that I do actually favor pretty well for the Ottomans here. Mainly because they always want to be going for this military school, and they can get pretty decent value from it. The only issue that you're going to have is that if your enemy does look to play Dark Age with you, you're going to need to match them probably with a barracks at the least. If we take a look over at the enemy side of the map, there is an exposed Uvu. Town center is on the wood line. Gold is also exposed. But it looks like, for the moment, our Mongol player not going to be playing any Dark Age shenanigans, just going to be going for a normal strategy here. And I wonder how Beastie reacts to that. Because we can see that his scout isn't really in a position to judge that. There could be an outpost going up right now. Probably, I mean, if you're going to drop an outpost, you probably wouldn't drop it right here, right? Like, actually, that's not a terrible spot, like this pixel right here, if you can get that. But I would be thinking, like, the best spot would be up here. The other alternative, I guess it's over towards this side, but yeah, it can be tough to know where you want to go with that outpost. And I guess, look, we're never even going to have to talk about it because, well, there's no outpost coming up. It's just a normal play style coming through now. But I think my main question is, do we see trade this game? In fact, do we dare see double trade? Now, it is Lipany, so remember that there's the Silver Tree, so there is, at the very least, a threat of trade coming through. And on the other side of the map, we do see Twin Minaret Madrasa coming up for Beastie. So, interestingly, opts for the Twin Minaret Madrasa, despite this being Lipany, where there are more berry bushes on this map. Obviously, we've got 1 stack, 2 stacks, 3 stacks, 4 stacks, and 5 stacks. We've got stacks on stacks on stacks right now. There's a lot of berries on this map. And that's not even, that's only on, like, that's just on Beastie's, like, look at that. They're all kind of next to each other, aren't they? That's a pretty decent spawn he's got there. But, of course, he's going to have even more berries with the Twin Minaret Madrasa. But we do see that Silver Tree coming through now. So we have been seeing this new Mongol opening coming out quite a bit. So basically what players do, and I kind of find it interesting the positioning that he went with this landmark. So essentially you'll move the landmark, the Silver Tree, over towards the Uvu when it's finished. And then you'll send out 4 traders. Now I think you can do up to 7 traders. I've seen people do up to 7 traders. And with that, you're then going to route them out to this trade post, and then you're going to move your Uvu into the corner. Or sorry, move your Silver Tree into the corner. And so basically you get your double production, and then you move it down, and that's going to give you a huge economic bonus. And basically, if you do get a successful trade come through, then you can basically just go castle, because you've got so much gold from the trade. Like each trade from here is pulling in 180 gold. That's a lot of gold. And we got Vils moving out already. Look at this. Look at this. Beastie not messing around. He says, hey, you want to go for a Silver Tree? I'll give you something to think about. Something to tree about. Archery range immediately coming up. Looks like we've got the Silver Tree moving to a interesting position. I don't know exactly why he's moving out here. I mean, I know why he's moving out here. He's looking for a really efficient production, but he can get super duper good production. Now, for this player, ML through versus Magic to get Beastie, this player is currently ranked in the top 200. So not quite Kong 3, Kong 2, but still obviously pretty decent. Should give Beastie a run for his money, especially with a strategy like this. And we do see the Silver Tree coming back. So Beastie actually going to be doing a full wall on the trading post. Completely walling it in. You shall not trade. Something he once told DeWham. But Archers do come out, and we're going to have Mangudai out here of all units. I didn't expect that. I thought we'd see probably just a single Archer coming out. But now moving out to the next trade post. Looking to secure that one up as well. So this is part of the thing, right? Where you go for the Silver Tree and you force your enemy's hand. We've talked about this before. Especially, it's quite common with the Malians. We've seen with the Salami build. So players will go for the trade landmark. And obviously Beastie scouts that his enemy goes for the Silver Tree here. And he says, well, I got to kind of deny this. And the problem is he's denying trade from this trading post. But that's it. He's not denying trade from this trading post. And that's where our Mongol player is going to look to exploit this. So I'm curious as to whether he's actually going to be able to pull it out. So far, the Mangudai should open well for him. But on Beastie's side, I'm wondering a bit more what he's going to be going for. Because a very common opening that we do see, and that's going to be our first Vizier point, it's going to be the meta coming in. So meta drums. So one of the common things that we have been seeing more often from the Ottomans is to go for this kind of fast castle play. Marine Lords obviously popularized it with his play style, but I guess Beastie's going to have the option as well to go into something like that. But at the moment, he really doesn't have a lot of info about what his enemy's up to. He just knows that he's gone for the trade landmark. And to be honest, like behind this, his enemy could be going full archers, his enemy could be going full horsemen, or his enemy could just be going castle age, and he's got really no clue. But I guess he can make some guesses about it, and that's the key thing. But we do now see over on that east side of the map, the Silver Tree is coming up. Mangudai moving over here. He's got the double Mangudai out. And I will suspect the Silver Tree going to begin trading towards, ideally. Look at that. Beautiful spot. Absolutely perfect spot. This is exactly where you'd want it. It's not going to be the best. It's not going to be the best trade. You know, this corner, or this trading post down to this corner, probably looking at about 182 gold. Actually, let me double check that. Yeah, about 180, 182. Not bad at all. But the Mangudai are out now. Outpost coming down as well. And it looks like we've got a bit of a raid coming in on Beastie's side. Mangudai are going to be looking. Let's see if there's many vills available. There's a lot of vills on that wood line. Look at this. Beastie going to be lucky to avoid the raid for now. Instead, looks like it's just going to be picking up a couple of reinforcements here. Does he draw the enemy units back? He does. He does draw the enemy units back. He's got to be careful, though. There's a fair bit here. And if he goes head first into it, which he does, oh, my lord, he's going to cop some damage, that's for sure. The Mangudai doing just Mangudai things, and more Mangudai moving out across the map. My lord, there's some Mangudai moving out across the map right now. First of the traders is coming across. 140 gold. So this is pretty good. This is good. This is, you know, this is your top 10% of trades right here, baby. This is a really good trade. And you can increase this the longer the game goes on. You can make a market up in this corner. We do see the numbers for Beastie about the same as our Mongol player. Now, the key factor here is that the Mongol player is keeping Beastie away from that trading post. And you can see Beastie wants to get over that side. He's heading down towards here. Trader numbers starting to increase as well. He's up to 2. No more in queue. But we do see the Spearman does spot the market. And this should be all the information Beastie needs. And immediately, he comes down towards this relic. You can see the Mangudai posturing. I'd almost be tempted to say to the Mongol player, just drop an outpost down here to try and help defend, but he'll try his luck. He's also got the Spearman hiding. Is there a scout? There is a scout here for Beastie. Hardened Spearman holding out for the moment. He should be easily able to clean this up. We do see the outpost starting to come up as well. Spearman going to be going down on that backside. Up towards the north. Beastie adding in more and more production. He's picked up double broadaxe. Also going to be getting in wheelbarrow. A little bit late on that wheelbarrow, but better late than never. And Silver Tree under pressure. At the moment, still only 2 traders out. But they're doing God's work, that's for sure. And just a little bit of a pause at the moment for our Mongol player. I definitely feel like he could have challenged this, but now all of a sudden, it's not going to be the case. This is not a challengeable position. That's way too many archers. 13 archers. If you've got horsemen, you can deal with it. We do see the first of the horsemen making its way out. We're right on board with our Mongol player. And a double stable coming up. I do like this. He's actually going for a double production. He's picked up the upgrade as well. So we could look to clean this up. And he's got plenty of health still on the Silver Tree, remember. And he's got the Vil here to repair. So once these horsemen come out, and I think he's got one more, he's got another production coming through. These numbers are pretty decent. And as long as his micro is good, Blue might have a good chance here. Nice little job with the trader there, jumping into the outpost for the moment. Archer's coming through. Beastie's got to be careful. Might lose this whole position. Horseman going in on the Sparky. A little bit of a mistake. Needs to come in onto these onto the archers. And that's exactly what he does. Spearman also moving in on the front. Sparky going to be looking for a decent connection, but we do see the arrow comes off. It's going to be that faster attack speed. No spears here for Beastie. And look at the damage that's coming through right now from our blue Mongol player. Beastie definitely underestimating the position that he was in. Maybe overestimating the position, rather, that he was in. Underestimating his enemy. And it's a complete cleanup right now, at least for the moment. Our Mongol player appears to be cleaning up Beastie despite the difference in skill between these guys. It looks like the meta also going to be going down. He loses that one. Villager continuing to wall, but remember, unless you got that full wall, it's not going to matter. And he completely cleans this up and secures up that trade. Immediately starts making trade. I'd almost be tempted to make double trade, but you can't because Mongol traders are cheaper from their landmark and they train faster, so you're probably just better off not even doing it at all. And now Beastie's in a bit of a tough spot. He's lost control of the map. His enemy has gained the ability to trade. He's got Yam network being provided to all of the traders that are going through here. Still got a couple of idle traders for the moment. But definitely in a solid position right now. Beastie, you gotta be careful, Beastie. Where does he go from here? What does he look to do? Because he can play longer in the feudal age. My fear is that if Beastie plays a longer feudal age, that our Mongol player ages up, gets men at arms, gets lancers, you got yourself a problem. The alternative, and look, Beastie drops down another archery range. This to me almost signals, hey, I'm playing feudal, whether you like it or not. Right now, if I'm the Mongol player, I'm going castle. I got double production here on my Uvu with my stables. I'm getting up there. You can see the Uvu about to run out at the moment. But I'm going heavy into Lancers once I get up. I think he's got +1. No, he doesn't have +1 just yet. Do we have that blacksmith down? Looks like no blacksmith down just yet either. A lot of villagers here on food. Is that 19 villagers on food? My lord, that's a lot of vills on food. He's a man intent on getting up to the next stage. That is for sure. Beastie's starting to wall up, playing a little bit safer. And remember, the longer this game goes on, the better it gets for Beastie. Because Beastie has a really good player. He's naturally going to do better the longer the game goes. He's going to have a better understanding at a macro level about what he needs to do. And look at these outposts beginning to come up here. At the same time, still we've got a pretty decent-sized army for our Mongol player on that south side. Beastie looking to pick up more upgrades. Fitted leatherwork coming through. Age up about to come through. It's going to be the Kurultai. Watch out, ladies and gentlemen. The Kurultai is making a comeback. This is the first time we're going to be seeing this landmark in a long time, but if he can wait until the Kurultai is here, look to get veterancy on his horsemen, he'll be able to clean up this position insanely easily. You see archers also now coming out. He's got to be careful not to lose these traders, and look at this. This trader's still in a solid spot, up to 148, or rather 154 gold. This is some decent level trade right now. Kurultai comes through, and expect to see very quickly men at arms. Lancer. Men at arms. Where's the Lancers? Where's the Lancers? There's the Lancers. A little bit slow on it. Kurultai got to move over, though. He needs that Kurultai here sooner rather than later. Outpost. Under attack. Battering ram doing God's work at the moment. Look at the amount of archers that we got here. 26. They just take out that trader very quickly. Second battering ram coming down as well. But remember, Beastie might be in a little bit of trouble here. I definitely would advocate, or I would definitely posit that he is in trouble. His position might look good, but remember, he's got a lot of archers. And remember, his enemy's in a really good spot. We see veterancy coming through as well for his opponent on those archers of all things. Not going for veterancy on the horsemen, but now Lancers. The Lancers actually aren't going to do a whole lot. I mean, they're still going to be very good, but you'd love to see +1 ranged armor coming through as well. +1 ranged armor is just going to make it so much harder for Beastie to deal with this position. We see additional barracks is being dropped down. That's going to be the third barracks on the Uvu. He's going to have to switch out that Uvu, though. He's going to need to move on. And now the next trade is going to be coming down. Kurultai does get up. And with that, the heal coming through because the Khan is nearby. Remember, as long as that Khan is alive, Everybody's happy. Kurultai continuing to move forward. Looks like the battering ram going to get cleaned up. He's going to have to come out towards this silver tree. Make sure he repairs it up. And you can see right now that the lack of veterancy, as well as the lack of that horseman upgrade coming through super quick, is going to be super bad here for our blue player. The numbers here for Beastie are huge. 46 horsemen. Men-at-arms coming through, though. Still no +1 ranged armor. Lancers also on the front line. Archer's doing a decent job, just kiting back and back and back. Still not enough to one-shot those horsemen. He's able to fall back to the safety of the Kurultai. Take a look at that right there. Ladies and gentlemen, the Kurultai meta is in. And the consequence of going for this trade landmark, going for the silver tree and getting that early trade out. Keep in mind, he's got 5 traders out, which ain't bad, right? Like, this is a fair amount of traders. Obviously, it's not 50, but it's still decent. It's still something that your enemy wants to shut down. It's because you've got that gold income. You don't have to go for the step right out, and instead can go into the silver tree. But Beastie's going to continue adding more and more units here. The problem is really going to start to show itself. A second town center coming down right now for our Mongol player. I would have loved to have seen a blacksmith, just +1 ranged armor. An extra ranged armor is going to mean that you're reducing the damage that your enemy is doing by half. From 4 armor to 5 will take their attack from 2 to 1. You can see how quickly they take out those men-at-arms with the 2 attack. Looks like he might actually lose these traders here. You can see villagers coming up. He's dropping down an outpost. Looks like Beastie might be cutting off the reinforcements from the main army. Stuck in the middle right now. Meta might go down here. He's only got the 1 meta. Second meta has now joined the fray. Battering ram looking for those outposts. He will find them. Beastie up about 40 military pop at the moment. Beastie also going to be walling back home. Looking to secure up that position and now going to be chasing those men-at-arms back. Still, we don't see that +1 ranged armor, but we do see the blacksmith is down. But the question is whether it's going to come up in time, though. It's going to take a minute for that. And I reckon that battering ram, it's got some ideas, that's for sure. Beastie once again on the offensive. Spy numbers starting to increase. Beastie looking for a castle age. Drops down the MIA. Back at home. Really good timing here on this one. He's done a beautiful job with the archer numbers. He just realized that, you know what? I can just overwhelm my enemy with my archers. And that's exactly what he does. Huge economy coming through from the Ottoman player. Kurultai coming in once again. Ubu does finally go down. Moves it towards his south side. Might have to pick up his production buildings. He will lose these. Still no +1 though. This is the killer thing, right? Like, we're going for a second town center. We had trade. You know, we had the whole world in the palm of our hands. But it's just that's the difference between rank 1, rank 200. Rank 200. He doesn't know that stuff. He's still yet to get there, but I mean, he's playing well. He's playing well. 18 minutes with one of the best in the world. He's doing something right. But looky over here. We got a prayer tent. We got a market coming up. I suspect we might have some more traders coming out shortly, but he needs to establish dominance on this map. The only thing is, it's going to be hard for him to do that. Beastie completely walled up on that west side, walled up on the east side, and of course, walling the front gate. Once it's walled off, Mongols really have a harder time. He's going to have to look for horseman raids over on the west and the east. I appreciate I did those in the incorrect order. It should have been the west and then the east. But the point still stands. He's going to need horsemen. They're much cheaper than lancers. Cut through those walls extra quick. Do the same amount of siege damage. Look at the mass now building for Beastie. Up to 86 military pop. Obviously, a lot of these are archers. But once that veterancy comes through, we can see it on the way now. Balanced projectiles also going to be coming in. Nice little position out over on this east side. Needs to try and get the silver tree back up. Not imperative, though. It's going to be expensive to do. It's kind of late in the game for it. Obviously, you'd still want it. He's going to be making a run for his life. Drops down the Wallalol. Beastie might look to snipe it. Does look to snipe it. Not even going to be close. Battering ram on the way in. Relic goes down. Prayer tank going to hightail it out of there. Not a whole lot of relics in that eastern corner, though. And back now on this south side of the map. Seems like Beastie's just having his way at the moment with the Mongol player. But he does have that second town center going for him. That's one key difference. Beastie on the other side of the map, though. Just sitting on that one TC. At least for now. Does have the military schools working for him. Obviously working overtime. Remember that the age ups come through, which means mangonels are going to be in play here shortly. Beastie up to 167 pop, a lot of which are archers. 59 archers at the moment. Still no +1 coming through for our Mongol player. This is a really pivotal moment here. An important fight. Needs to try and get those ranged upgrades as soon as you can in this matchup. Horsemen moving to the north. They're going to get picked off. There's so many archers here. You can see how fast they are with the meta. There to assist. 1.44 movement speed. Almost as fast as rather faster than a palace guard. Prayer 10 not going to be successful. Relic's being captured by Beastie as well. And now we can see those horsemen coming through. These are the horsemen that we talked about. These guys are going to excel at taking down those walls. Doing double the siege, double the effective siege of a knight, because a knight costs twice as much. They do the same amount of siege. So whenever your opponent's walling, you want to try and be using horsemen rather than those knights. And now second town center, as well as the first one, going to be exposed as Beastie walks in. Plenty of damage going to be potentially coming out. +1 ranged armor. Kurotai going to be moving in as well. Where's the army right now? We're going to enter into the cinematic mode as Beastie looks to just burn down the main town center. Couple men at arms underneath the TC. +1. I'm assuming it's come through. I'm suspecting this is +2 now. There's not a lot of siege here. No battering rams, just archers. Mangonel comes out. It's a decent shot. It's a decent shot, all right. And indeed, we do see the defensive arrow comes through. Mangonel needs to keep moving forward. Mangonel, don't stop. Can't stop, won't stop. Archer numbers on the backside looking pretty decent for our Mongol player as he looks to try and hold on a little bit longer. Spahi moving around the south side. He's going to be coming for the Mangonels. Mangonel comes out. He's going to lose it almost immediately. Doesn't even get a shot off, and he could have. Second Mangonel, though, playing it safe. Man-at-Arms going to be moving back to protect it. He's got Vils here to repair. Now moves in on top of the Mangonel, so it can't get any shots. But at the same time, the Men-at-Arms are here, holding on for dear life. Mangonel still surviving, still thriving. Beastie trying his best to take it down. More Vils get pulled. Mangonel gets a shot off and hits 3 of the archers. We do hear that counterattack towards the north. First of the crossbowmen make their way in, and there's a whole bunch of idle units just chilling out here. But it looks like for the moment, our Mongol player will hold. At least for the moment. He loses Vils though, and he did lose that second town center. A lot of Vils down out, looking to drop down. That's another second town center. He's trying his best to get up to it. And it's a decent hold. It's a decent hold. I would say that the consequence right there, and we see the horsemen moving out, the consequence of not pushing with siege or battering rams is that, well, you didn't really burn down much. I mean, you got a town center for the Mongols. That's chump change. Let's switch it over now. Get a bit of an idea of where the economies are up to. Take a look at that. The military population, all of a sudden, pretty even. Villager pop, it's close. Obviously, at this point in time, our Mongol player, he's got a lot to make up for. Relics, sacred sites, military schools, MIA. There's a lot of stuff here. The Beastie's invested into, but don't show in that village account. Compare that to our Mongol player. And at most, he's got an Uvu. That's it. Double Knight coming through for Beastie. He's picked up his +2 ranged armor, +2 melee armor. Very solid position. Only +1 ranged armor coming through at the moment. Yeah, Network also going to be coming through for our Mongol player. He's trying to keep up with the Kardashians, having a tough time here. Trade getting shut down once again. Beastie doing a really good job shutting down trade. By walling off this market, or rather this trade post, he just never really has to think about it. Obviously, still has to think about this one over on the east side, but it gives him one place to focus. We do see a keep now coming down. So there is the potential that Beastie could also be looking for some trade himself. Obviously, if this game does go late, we've seen a propensity for players to move towards that Sea Gate Castle. It has been a landmark that has shaped the way that the Ottomans have played late game recently. It means that you can invest a lot less population in your economy. Still have a really, really strong gold income in that late game. The other option, the Istanbul Observatory. Beastie looks like he's heading towards Imperial. I wouldn't be surprised if we do see it. Could be coming out. Kurultai moving into the middle. A lot of archers here. Population pretty even. Knight numbers are decent though. Mangonel, Springalds. Definitely going to be in favor of Beastie. We'll need to fall back, and indeed he does. Age Up going to be coming through from Beastie very shortly. We can see he's preparing for that Imperial. Raid on the south side gets cleaned up. Looks like a villager was lost. Speaking of villagers being lost, 38 worker kills this game for Beastie. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot of worker kills. Mangonel going to be going down almost immediately. Manages to pick off almost half a knight, or almost a knight for it. Kurultai might go down here. Beastie's still not yet aging up. He's got the resources for it though. Kurultai going to have to fall back. Not enough to really defend this position. The knights are going to be the difference maker. We hear the Janissaries have come through as well. How many Janissaries are we talking right now? 17 Janissaries! Beastie Cutie! Go for the Janissary switch! Not something that I expected to see. But something that is welcome, and indeed it is going to be that Seagate Castle on the backside getting thrown down. Beastie really looking to secure out the late game. The Kurultai, it was a nice try. It was a nice attempt. But is it going to work? Is it going to be sufficient? He needs to get it down at the very least. He's just losing all of his units. Village is now going to jump inside the town center. He's going to be idled. He's taking out Vills as well. Kurultai going to come down. Spearman joining the battle. He's able to hold on a little bit longer. But that villager count's really starting to show. 22 villages the difference, and 56 villagers gone down this game. Imagine right now if our Mongol player had 56 extra Vills. 57. He'd be sitting on 105. He'd be out-ecoing Beastie. And the Imperial Age comes through for Beastie. As the beacon is lit. It is the Seagate Castle. It is upon us. This is going to secure up Beastie's late game trade. We can already see right now that Beastie is indeed going for late game trade. Keep already in position to provide that extra movement speed, cleaning up the military in his enemy's base, stomping over the top of him. The Kurultai is no more, ladies and gentlemen. The game is over. A Beastie is successful. A rare victory W for this channel. But not a rare victory, not a rare victory for Beastie, though. He has them quite a bit. Fellas, if you've enjoyed this casted game, if you've enjoyed what Beastie's thrown down, I encourage you, go check him out. He's an incredible player, very talented content creator. I'll leave a link in the description, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.